The birds. In the name of God. Flying in the sky for so long, we could see a beautiful land full of tall trees from afar. As we were hungry, we decided to go down to get something to eat. When we were almost near the ground, we saw a lot of seeds spread near an old tree. Then we heard this beautiful sound from some birds singing beautifully in a distance. This meant that there were no hunters around and that it was safe to land. Everything looked so peaceful to us. There were no signs of human beings. We flew toward the seeds happily. When we were just about to eat the seeds, we all got caught in a trap in a matter of no time. There was a string all over our legs. We couldn't believe it. The hunters seemed to have hidden somewhere in the bushes out of sight. We had no way to get out. It just seemed like the end of the world. Our happiness turned into sorrow so quickly. Only then did we realize that it was the hunters making all these beautiful sounds to catch us. The more we tried to get out, the more we got stuck in the trap. Each was desperately busy trying to find a way to escape. We were trapped in the net for quite a while now. As time passed, we got used to our cage. We slept with string all around our legs in a place too small to breathe. Although we were hungry, we could find nothing to eat. We just had to wait for the hunters to come and see what they had decided for us. The next day, I saw a few birds struggling to get out of the trap. It wasn't easy, but they managed to get their necks and wings out of the trap somehow and fly in the sky. Then more birds joined them one after another. It seemed that they didn't care about the string tied around their legs so much. "I'm dying down here, brothers. Help me for God's sake, please," I shouted. They looked at me kindly for a few seconds, but soon started flying higher in the sky when they thought of the hunters coming back. "I'm helpless, brothers. Don't forget your promises. I need your helping hand," I shouted. They felt pity on me and came toward me hesitantly and showed me how to get my neck and wing out of the net, and finally pulled me out. "Enjoy your freedom," they said. I shouted, "Untie this string from my legs, please." "We don't know how. Look at our legs. We wish we could untie the string ourselves. We're like a physician who is sick himself and can't do anything about it," a bird said in a sad voice. I begged them to stop and help me. Another bird said, "We're going far away to dangerous places. We might get caught in a trap again, but we need to take a rest to get rid of all the traps once and for all. We want to experience freedom and beauty. You're welcome to join us. Or maybe you'd want to stay here to live a simple life. Anyway, it's up to you." I accepted to go with them, though it seemed that I had no way back. We flew for days and passed many places. Then we got to a place where there was food and water. We didn't stop. We paid no attention to all the beautiful sounds we heard as we were passing by, for it could have been another trap to trick us. Then we reached the mountain. We stopped to look around. There were 8 tall mountains ahead of us. We'd better keep on flying. There is no safe place. Hunters are everywhere to catch us. Besides, if we amuse ourselves by watching the beautiful scenery of nature down here, we can never get to the wonderland to see the King of Kings, the old bird said. We were all hungry and dead tired when we got to the 7th mountain. Let's relax. We can't fly another inch. We've traveled a long way. We're far from hunters and our enemies now. If we go on like this, we'll all die, one of the birds complained. So we decided to land. We saw beautiful gardens with trees full of juicy fruits. There was crystal clear water flowing in the rivers, and the sounds of birds which we had never heard in our whole life before. There was this pleasant fragrance in the air which we had smelled for the first time. Then someone shouted, "It's time we went. There is nothing better than being cautious in life, and at times being a little pessimistic. Staying here too long is just a waste of time and dangerous." So we flew toward the 8th mountain. It was so high, it almost reached the sky. We finally got there after a long struggle. It was full of birds. We almost fainted when we heard them singing with their magic sounds. Then we just stared at their mesmerizing birds' faces for such a long time. Our wings were getting weaker and weaker with all this beauty. So we landed. The people were so nice to us. They greeted us warmly and took us to their king. We told the king our story. He felt so sorry for us and sympathized. "There is the King of Kings who lives on top of this mountain. He will take away all your pain and suffering," said the king. We became completely calm and relaxed when we heard that. So we didn't wait. We flew toward the top. The King of Kings found us about us coming. He sent his men to take us to his palace. After a short time, we entered the palace. It was the most magnificent palace we had ever seen in the world. Then we went to another palace which was much bigger than the first one. The King of Kings was there waiting for us in the hall. He was sitting calmly in a magnificent chair in the distance. He welcomed us and asked to sit close to him. Then he greeted us warmly and had the servants bring us food. Having eaten the most delicious food and drinks, we told our stories and asked the King of Kings to take the string off our legs to be free forever. The King of Kings smiled affectionately and stayed silent for a long time. Then he said, "Honestly speaking, there is not much I can do for you, I'm afraid. You see, the ones who put a string around your leg should untie it themselves. But don't worry, I'll send a messenger with you to make the hunters do that for you." Let's go, the birds said. Now we're on our way to our homeland with our dear messenger to get rid of the strain. Wish us good luck.